Alright, let's start recording and let's start the event. Let's not notify everybody. I think it just gets annoying. Be nice if everybody knew, but I don't tend to like that so much. Hey, my audio capture is okay, I hope. I don't expect to get video capture going at all. Hi, Drew. Asking for questions. This is supposed to be a live hack without having from... Let's ask Robert if he's available. A WebEx with what is Andrew Davis's thing? Hey Yush, let's get you on stage. Hey, Robert, nice. Hi Yush. See if I can hear you. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
I gotta click the button.
Hey, Robert, Ayush, nice.
Yeah, and I'm actually in San Jose for the RIS5 summit, so.
Oh, sweet. Oh well, I will. There's people been asking about who's there, so I will let them know that you're there.
Kathy should be here too. She's at she's gonna be at the Deep Computing booth.
Excellent. I should have sent you guys some swag or some giveaway, some fun stuff for their.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out how do we invite Sean Heimel into this. He was added to the Discord. It's like, hey, this is live.
Oh, look at this! Oh my goodness, we've got Andrew Davis. Oh no!
You better. You better record it so you can figure out how to install MicroPython.
It is being recorded, Andrew. So just.
Oh no!
Oh, you live. You're a real person.
Oh yeah. They kind of difficult getting on Discord right now. It's blocked on the TI network. So
I thought Nishan fixed that they approved it now, but or is that only for him?
That's only for him and Barry, I think, and they both haven't quite figured out how to add people to the exception list. So I get on occasion when I kind of hop off the VPN, but yeah, it's not been very often.
Well, if you want to see a delayed version of my screen, you can join the. Yeah, it should be live. Yeah. It's streaming on YouTube, and I can't get Discord to show it at the same time, so you'll get it like 30 seconds later. You'll get to see my screen, right? Because there's a big delay on YouTube. I just can't get it on Discord at the same time. I keep saying I'm going to set up Big Blue Button, so that would be under a BeagleBoard domain, but. Yeah, I too many things to do in a day. But man, it's so good to have you. I want to try to figure out some of the magic build commands, right? So we've got a CI set up at openbeagle.org/BeagleY-AI/Zephyr. And then there's this simple like MicroPython test project. Are you still there? I saw you went to mute. I'm thinking you're still connected, like you're on a phone or something where you can get around the TI firewall. But
right. No, it's I'm just muted so you don't have to hear too much background noise. let's see. Are you able to post links to that, or should I just try to punch this stuff in?
For the YouTube stream or for the what?
Yeah. Well,
it's in the
yeah.
it's in the Discord chat. If there's another place you want me to send it to you personally, I can do that. I think I know I've got your email address, so I'll send it to you via email. But I don't know that seeing my screen is the most important thing, but it might help.
Okay, never mind. I found the chat. It was hidden in a window on the side.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, if it's easier to click from. Oh, hi, Andre.
Jason, are you able to record this, or do you need me to?
It's recording. So I'm YouTube streaming. So all of these sessions are on just like just the go live for my personal account. So. And I'll send you the YouTube live stream as well. It's just, yeah. So yeah, we're recording. So information said here should not be lost. But getting back to, the link. So links, you also want the one to the test, right? So for the for the actual GitLab stuff. If openbeagle.org is still a hassle, you can always use the git.beagleboard.org. I think that's better behind TI firewalls. I don't know if you see the chat or not.
Yeah, yep, I'm seeing it. MicroPython test, alright.
Andre decided to step off stage. Yeah, so we're building fine. I should probably do some tests there to look at the sections, right? So we've last time I think we figured out how to get the project settings kind of brought in right. So we're getting the resource table built, but we're still not getting. We don't know what magic switch you flipped in order to get MicroPython to use the
build.
Well, no, the build is fine, right? It's getting it to look at the RP message as the console, right? So, like, I figured out turning off the UART thing is bad. I don't understand that setting. I don't understand all the settings. Understand the need to have config OpenAMP and OpenAMP or resource table, RSC table. I don't know why it's abbreviated RSC. People get lazy. But what I haven't figured out is how to actually get the console redirected. Right, we can run it. We've been able to demo it just fine.
Okay, you're talking console, the regular console you've got working, the UART one. You're saying the RP.
No, I haven't tried connecting up the UART. I'm trying to get back to where you were, an example project that builds where you were, because you had the console output, right? You had the RP message console.
Right.
Yeah.
We just.
So I'm putting it. Locked by another process. What other process would there be? Huh. Okay. I'm on a my session. Apparently, I left it open somewhere.
Okay, let me see if I've got a way to share my screen, because actually, where are you downloading this MicroPython from? I've got it.
Well, the one that works, Robert put into the images somehow. I don't know where he got it from.
And I got that build from Andrew, so wherever Andrew built it from.
So how did he hand it off to you?
Yeah. So Andrew, that firmware you built about 6 months ago, we're trying to just reproduce that. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware that you didn't have the source code for that. I thought I gave it to you in source code.
Ah.
Because
Well, yeah, we don't have the source or how you built it. Let's put it that way.
Okay, well, the things you're gonna be missing is I had to modify the source to get that working. So it wasn't a build flag. It was more involved than that. So first things first, let me
Just
see if
like
I
that.
can't clean this up and let me post this source somewhere. I didn't realize you didn't have that.
And that was an old firmware, so it's even. I know you've been doing a lot of changes to your main branch, and I don't think you've updated the firmware. So it's about 6 months old, and it just works. And we've been trying to reproduce it.
Oh,
Yeah, we know where your Zephyr. We know where your Zephyr is, right? It's on GitHub, GLNEO,
Yep.
Zephyr, and then we've been the tree that seems to be more built like is the AI64 tree.
Yeah, the one that you rebase every few weeks. That one, yeah.
Right, because
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
merge requests, right? It's pending
Right.
merge requests, right?
So we build that.
Yeah, and we've got our own fork of it in this project, right? That's the BeagleY Zephyr, and then there's a branch BeagleY-AI dev, right? So you can look at exactly what we've got as terms of our Zephyr.
All right. Yeah, the modifications are going to be on the MicroPython side.
Yeah. GLNE, is there GLNE? Is it? Do you have them on GitHub?
I'm going to go ahead and push this right now. So, one moment.
That's why we couldn't find it then.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, works better with the code, right? Yep.
So yeah, I mean, without the resource table, like nothing even loads, right? So like the when you try to load the built binary without a resource table, remote proc pukes all over it, which that's just remote proc. It's what it does. It pukes if it doesn't have a resource table. But for the last month or so, right, we've been trying to figure this out.
Okay, yeah, well, resource table obviously first step, so wasn't all in vain, right? Because otherwise,
it was a learning
right,
process, sure.
right.
Oh, it didn't help that I had the bins there the whole time for the first 2 weeks for Jason. Like, oh yeah, they just install these.
Yep. So we can see that something work. We can actually make something work, right? So I've got up on my screen right now, like the running the firmware images that Robert threw in there. It's just reproduce, and then we want to kind of go beyond, right? We want to start extending that, and I saw Drew has been doing some work on I2C, right? So we can start like working out some of these features where we're actually using actually looking at the GPIO, and like ultimately we're trying to build like a few things, right? Which is a nice Zephyr native, like a BeagleY native Zephyr build environment, right? So we include all the packages, right? Maybe we do some things where we include at least a version of the Zephyr repo, all the toolchain stuff, right? It's in one SD card image, so somebody can get started building with Zephyr for the R5 very quickly. But then also like really extend the Python development stuff, right? So like Python to Python, include stuff, how you message between the R5 and the A53s, and clean that up, right? So that people that don't want to get down into editing Zephyr can just do a full stack Python, right? Linux Python and R5 MicroPython, and make them work with each other, and even like load the R5 with code, and just make it kind of like a really nice Python platform with real-time Python and network connected Python. All right, Andrew, are you pushing your MicroPython somewhere?
Yep. I'm just trying to prevent you guys from having to hear all the clicking of my keyboard.
okay.
So, yeah.
And
Oh,
you
we're
know,
used to that.
Ayush has his new, like, he's got his pull request, right? That's just kind of part of this whole thing, right? His pull request for getting MicroPython Zephyr support upstream, right, improved.
Yep. Let me just post a link, I guess. I basically keep the staging things in this branch and then move them and create PRs when we can, I guess.
So his merge request is the one that we've been using, right? So getting whatever patches you have for MicroPython into that merge request or pull request, right, is the thing that unless we do start putting it somewhere else. But right now we've just been using that pull request as the head of our development. Hey, look at that! there's a GLNEO MicroPython now. Let's look for funny branches. RP message transport. What? Hey, one commit. That's not bad.
That sounds like it.
Initial RP message transport. Oh. Okay, so you did change the.
Right. So what's happening is what needs to happen in Zephyr is the doing the TTY interface over RP message. It was kind of hacked into a couple of the demos, and it's not like a proper transport that you can just like a regular UART driver, right? So at some point, I basically ripped the hacking code out of one of the projects and copied it over here so that it could also, and then just redirected the output and input, right? But what really needs to happen long term is this to become a proper UART driver in Zephyr so that code like this, like MicroPython, doesn't have to even know that it's not a real UART.
Right. Because right now it looks like you're actually going in the MicroPython and creating a thread for doing the messaging, right? Where that should be part of the underlying services from Zephyr, not
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So much work to be done in Zephyr, but this kind of gives the gap. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at it too hard. Like I said, it all needs to get ripped out and fixed properly. But this was what I hacked together to get you guys the demo last time.
Okay. I mean, we're trying to get this stuff landing upstream, right? So if you're not actively working on it, right, we want to make sure that we can pick it up and push some of it forward.
Okay. Well, the problem is this isn't upstreamable, right? This isn't the right way.
Oh, no, I understand that, right? But we got to understand, like, what's the part that's kind of got to move into Zephyr, right? Which is, like, Zephyr itself needs to have some type of, if you know, a thread or other solution where it's able to make it look like a UART push, right? The same calls inside of Zephyr that it would use to write to a UART, and
right, and it kind of does. It kind of has that, but they wrote it at the teletype layer, right? Not at the raw UART layer. So there is a Zephyr service, but that doesn't really do anything for us because the only thing that uses up at the teletype layer is the Zephyr shell. And so anything lower than that, like this is just raw get char put char. That's too low in the stack for this.
Well, but should like MicroPython really be doing things with Zephyr at the put char level, right? Maybe that's also a problem in MicroPython, or maybe it really should be doing things at a TTY level.
Well, I think the push and get is correct because you can do interruptible keys and stuff that the shell would do.
True. Things that a TTY wouldn't let you do.
Right. I think it's the right layer. It's just we need to re-architecture a couple things in Zephyr, and I got sidetracked whenever this
I
happened.
think the latest MicroPython does support TTY layer. I was looking at the source code for something else, and they now have two implementation. One is like raw put char get char, and one is using TTY layer. It was merged like a month ago or something. I think as a part of like enabling Zephyr 3.7. So we might be able to get something working sooner.
Oh, well, that's new. Yeah, I must not have been around when I was looking, so that could be an option. Do we know if that loses us anything, or?
I mean, it by default is using TTY at least on Beagle Connect Freedom without any modifications. So I think it's supposed to be the new default. I will have to look at the source more though.
Oh, well, that could be a much better option than. All I'm thinking is quick. Don't look at this code. I got a quick refactor it now, but.
You're welcome to refactor. I just doing a build.
No, that's right. It should be tracked what was already binary shipped. Yeah,
doing a build and reproducing that functionality right seems like critical to me. So look what you call your branch. You called it RP message transport, so we can do that. But we got to pull in this one as well. You can't see my screen, but I'm going to pull in both. I'm going to merge both of the changes. You called yours RP message transport. RP message transport. It's not going to do it. Did I do get remote update first?
And I've just done a test build just now, and you have to change one line because this was built for the Zephyr, what is it, like 3.6, but the latest is 3.7. So these moved independently of each other. So what you're going to rebuild is going to be, hopefully up to date.
I might have missed the point.
I'm just saying this branch that I just pushed was for old Zephyr as it was 6 months ago, and I just did a test build with the latest Zephyr, and I had to change a single line to get it to build.
Okay. No, do I have Ayusha's branch? That's here, so here and here. Let's see what pulling in what branches? Oh, upstream. What's your branch is called upstream? Ayush? Oh, that's the one I'm merging.
Yeah, mine was upstream, named upstream. Yeah.
BeagleY-AI. All right. I have a new branch of MicroPython, and so go here. I'm going to change the settings to make that the default branch. General branch, badges, service advance. I can never remember. So is it settings repository branch defaults? There we go. So now the BeagleY-AI Zephyr MicroPython is the merged branch between your two. Now let's change MicroPython test to use it. It's going to be the west.yaml file. Project west.yaml edit. So MicroPython remote BeagleY-AI Zephyr revision BeagleY-AI dev and okay. All right, now we're building what should be your this new combined version. So we can watch the paint dry here. Cool. What else? Any questions? Right. So Drew, you're the only one sitting in the audience right now. I know you're working on a lot of things around Zephyr and the R5 stuff. Did you have any questions, or does anybody else have any questions? This is supposed to be, I mean, it's a live hacking session, but hopefully the idea is to actually generate some questions so we can go off and answer. I can also start a build on the on target, so we can test that. Oh, did I have changes? I did have some local changes. I don't know what they were. Whatever they were captured. Alright, so we need to source.v bin activate, and we need to source Zephyr environment.shell. Now we should have a good build environment, and we can execute the fun build command. So hello world, right? How do we do the same thing with just like hello world?
There we go. It built.
Do this with Hello World, you'd probably have to hack up the Hello World demo because it's also going to be.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to do it until we fix.
Right, make the RP message layer a default UART. Even if we can build some things on top of the teletype layer, it's so many more demos. It just expect raw UART. Then I think that's still the right place to put this. And because on the Linux side, you can set your, when you connect, you can set like a raw. You can go into uncooked mode, and then you get more options. So, oh, by the way, I am watching on YouTube, so you're right. There's like a good 5-second delay, but I can see what's going on.
Yeah. MicroPython ports Zephyr. We'll go ahead and make it pristine. And I want to get rid of this overlay config, but if there's a pattern we can find to do here, because right now we're having some separate project settings. I don't know if we need these separate project settings. Maybe if it's done right, you shouldn't need any of them. And actually, now that we have, what's the main?
If you're on the latest Zephyr, it's. Oh wait, that's.
Well, it's the latest Zephyr, and I shouldn't need it now because we also now have the config in MicroPython itself.
Right. Okay, but that area,
we have an updated board file, so I shouldn't need to use my own project config. So I should be able to delete it. BeagleY underscore AI J722S.
Your D should be a B.
Oh. It's after. Yeah, I needed. I
Wait,
didn't.
wait,
I didn't have the
beginning.
-B at all. I
Yeah.
missed
Oh,
the.
yeah.
I
Right.
missed the -B to specify the board, so I was trying to look for a file instead of a project file, right? So instead of it being a board, so yep, it was missing that B. So thank you. All right, Robert said this built. So we should have binary files for somebody to go out and test here now too. Oh, the fun has the fun. I forgot we had the artifact name, so it actually comes back as MicroPython instead of artifacts. That's handy. I'm gonna copy this version over. MicroPython 192.168.0 BeagleY-AI. BeagleY-AI 6.2, and just the default directory. That's good. Trust it. So we should just open up another shell here. Yeah, right now I'm zipping up the whole entire massive build, and it's ugly big build directory. So probably don't want to do that in the CI. To declare the artifacts as all. It's about a quarter of the way building on BeagleY right now. Alright, the CI built one is there, so...
You just gotta force it onto the Pi 5s, it'll be a little faster. Or there's the AM69. That would be a little faster too. But.
Oh, it did build Hello World, even though it won't work. So I need to copy the Zephyr, what's RSC, OpenAMP RSC table elf file, right? Into lib firmware J7. Yep. Why can't we reboot? Well, no, I think we heard why we can't restart the R5. But is there any intention to fix that from a TI standpoint?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's just some pokey bug that we've got on our side. So
it really stinks to have to reboot every time you want to start the R5 over again.
It absolutely does, and it's such a pain that actually my local development environment, I have a really hacky fix for that bug, so that at least on my desk,
can we reproduce that? Is there like a peek and poke that'll?
Well, what it is it depends on which version of Linux you're on. If you're on the latest upstream, the thing to do is there is a timeout that's waiting, and you basically just say don't wait for that timeout in the driver. The reason it's hacky is because then there's theoretically a chance that you're pulling the plug on a running processor, which can, throw crap into memory, and it can crash your whole system. So it's not suitable for upstream yet, but 9 times out of 10 it works.
So what's the poke?
Let me pull that up on my side really quick, and then I'll get back to you.
Because then I can try this out without stopping my build. Right now I'm.
And Andrew, is that on 6.6 or probably still 6.1?
Okay, you guys are on 6.1.6. Okay, I only ever
Yeah.
run off master, so you might have to back.
Is that TI master or what we push the main line?
Real master upstream. Yeah.
Okay. So 6.12. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Which is now supported, Jason. You just got to switch to that. So.
Yeah.
I didn't know the R5s were enabled though. That's actually cool that R5's enabled on mainline.
You do have to add one thing to your device tree, but yeah, we got it upstream this cycle. The R5 support.
So our existing patched device tree wouldn't do it? Because we already got a patched device tree, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have the R5s.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but how are we using the R5s on 6.1?
Yeah, but he's talking about 6.12.
Okay, so you have a totally different device tree for 6.12.
Yeah. I mean, it's based on what we did in 6.1, it's just that it's mainline.
Yep. What's going on in anything else? Andre, I think plan would be they share it so anyone can reproduce with given warning, not safe for production.
Oh, Melta was saying that he also, or he or she also wants it. So I was saying that you guys are probably going to share it if you have the hacky workaround for resetting the R5.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we'll bake it in by default, and then everyone has to deal with
it. And if you crash your system, oh well. You were going to reboot anyway.
So you're saying we need a memory cleanse on the CMEM anyways, so... There you go. So when you run this hacky, also sanitize CMEM.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Actually, we really should have firewalls in place to prevent a rogue processor spinning down off into space from crashing the Linux side. So,
I've also been able to rebuild locally. So yeah.
I still think it's a feature on AM3 where you can just reboot and what was in memory is still in memory.
Alright.
You don't need to reload device tree a second time. Just reboot the whole system. It'll be fine.
Well, I don't have the hack yet, so I'm rebooting.
Yeah.
It's a memory optimization. You don't need to waste cycles rewriting memory when that's all you wanted anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, I suppose with remote proc, there's got to be a flag in there. Hey, we're shutting you down. Restart or something, but.
It's like on desktop, if Optane was as fast as RAM, you basically treat it like a VM. We just resume state every time. Don't worry about having to test DDR and everything.
Yeah. But most end users for this they want to load the R5 either in U-boot or as soon as possible, and it just runs that code forever. They don't change it mid-cycle like we do.
So I'm just going back and looking at my looking at the to-do list on so I've got a projects repo with a simple README and just a kind of a bunch of like little check marks. So if there's so the Linux device tree, so those UART pins, how do they get pinmuxed? If I wanted to use the 2 pins to actually look at that console externally, do I need to modify the Linux device tree for that, or otherwise set the pinmuxes for UART1, or is that just done by default?
So, okay, so first of all, I think those pins are actually the default, and we do have a pinmux driver in Zephyr, and the way I do it is actually just modifying Linux. So the answer to your 3 questions is yes.
All right, so one way is to just use Zephyr pinmux, and you are actually poking it with Zephyr pinmux?
yes, if you have the PinMux driver enabled, it should work. Again, it's the default. I'm not sure how well that driver's been executed or exercised. So yeah.
And as long as they're muxed properly in Linux for it to use it, it'll just use it just fine. I think that's the easy way of saying it, but
right,
it'll share it.
Yeah, for the J7 platforms though, Linux comes in later and messes with like the UART blocks. So you'll also want to just disable for I don't know, the Beagle AI64, whatever one uses J7. Yeah, disable that in Linux so that when if you are using it from Zephyr, Linux doesn't come in and mess with it.
Yeah. I mean, we still need to kind of go through all the different ways we're doing pinmuxes, right? I had just a question on the forums in the last week about how to use Spy, and right, the overlay was there, but nobody was being told how to use the overlay. Right, it was kind of trivial if you know, but if you don't know, right, it was less than trivial, right? So I think we need to just kind of push a generic solution from Linux for setting the pinmuxes, because we've been doing it. We've been looking at how we do that for GPIO, but I don't know if we've got an idea of how we're doing it for all the other pin modes.
Yeah, we need to have overlays for all the other pin modes, but the main thing was that everything was GPIO on startup. It's just when you want to do like Spy or I2C. Oh, we need to remux it.
So I kind of didn't debug anything over the UART. Let's see. I'm trying to get some of these to-do items down. Yeah, probably nobody can see my screen in real time here, but let's see if the board's back up.
Hello, Stu. I can see you doing the to-do stuff.
Yeah.
You should also be able to just share your screen at the same time on here, I think.
Yeah, but so we've tried that a bunch of times with Discord, and every time it fails. So rather than
yeah, the one other thing I can think of is if you have the option for the OBS virtual camera. I don't know if that's Windows only or not. And if you like try to open your webcam, because the OBS virtual camera is just what OBS sees, so it would be your screen.
Oh, does it share a virtual camera?
Yeah, I know that works in Windows. It doesn't work in Mac, so it might also not work in Linux.
Right now I'm using Pipewire. I don't know enough about OBS. I don't want to mess with the live stream.
You shouldn't have to touch it in OBS. It should just be Discord under your like camera settings. You should just have OBS virtual camera in there. If it's not in there, don't worry about it. Like it should just be a video output device.
I think that plugin is not present in the Linux version, at least not by default. I do remember that I got it set up at one point, but yeah, it's not default in Linux.
Yeah, you can close out of this, Jason. Yeah, I mean you can. Yeah, so it's like there. Yeah, it's not there. Never mind.
So if I share my screen, right, because it's only got. I mean, it's separate than camera, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
Dare I try it?
I mean, if you want to. I don't want to break your stream. That was just the one idea I had that wouldn't break it.
Should I do application? Application window might work. Well, no, then I can't. I'm switching back and forth, so I don't know. Sure. Yeah, it goes into this infinite loop. Yeah, it kills it kills Discord. Well, the YouTube stream is still good. Yeah, I can see that it's still streaming on YouTube. Have I mentioned how much I hate Discord? I hate Discord. Oh, I'm not on stage. Speak on stage. I hate Discord.
Don't let me take you guys off track with that. That was a bad idea on my part.
So
we just gotta get Andre to host the session. That'd solve the problem.
I'll host the next one if you want. I'll set it up and because I can do the virtual camera stuff, so we can do both.
Hey!
Yeah, you can do the video behind the scenes and make it work.
Yeah.
How do I look at the build version? I don't remember my MicroPython commands. MicroPython, because I think there's stuff for.
Should be a version, right?
Yeah, I think there's stuff for looking at the version, or is it just version? What's sys.version?
It might be __ version thingy.
What happened here? Which one's hung up? No. Uh-oh. Who? Okay, let's see. Audio connected? Yep, not my computer. It seems to be the... Yeah. So my R5 died.
So os.uname looks like is an option.
Okay.
Import os uname.
Yep, my R5 died. I don't know how that happened when I did import sys. I don't know if that's something different with this version of it. So which function were you saying, Robert? It was the, because there's sys.version.
Oh, I put it in the chat.
os.unit. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah, so import os.uname was one of the options people have been saying.
And it gives the build version. Oh, it should give the
Enter
Zephyr.
a bunch of times. It'll eventually dump something.
Oh, you think it'll recover? No. No, I'm gonna reboot again. So the next question is OpenOCD.
It should be patched, already installed for the R5. So then it's just GDB and talking to OpenOCD and actually doing it. But yeah, it should be pre-installed.
So Jason, Melta was asking if you can check the status or how you're checking the status of the R5.
Yeah, I could have done some RP. The only ones I know are like doing the checks from RP message, right? So from, I'm sorry, not RP message, from remote proc, right? Statuses, but I already rebooted, so
yeah.
Too late.
Andrew, do you know if there's like a right way of doing it?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Checking the status of the R5 from Linux.
No, there's really no good way. Like if it's crashed or something.
Yeah, just trying to figure out why it was hung.
Yeah, you just want to connect with the debugger, find that. There is like a trace log, but I mean it's not going to have anything if you've crashed out. So.
TTY RP message. There we go. Oh, yeah. The first import, it seems to die. So maybe I should have done some other stuff first.
Okay, so can't do any imports.
You don't need those in Python, right?
Every example is imports. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess he probably wants the files to be copied over or something.
What's the dev link for it, by the way? Dev. Isn't there a RP, like a remote proc dev link? Don't we have like a sim link? Do we not have?
For the R5 specifically, no, we don't have the symlink for it.
Okay. That's a README item.
Luckily, there's a main and an MCU, so there's only 2 of them really on this part that we could access.
Yeah. So we need to do that. The to-do list is growing, as it should. So cat state, and it's running. Oh, we should.
But dev TTR remote block doesn't work, or I mean, it basically locks up. You're saying? I mean, you get the MicroPython shell, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, I get the MicroPython shell, but it seems like and the TTY itself dies, right? So when I try, every time I try to do an import, I could probably try to do something simpler. It's not an import. Maybe there's a specific bug created on import.
You do it, see if you can even do like a native command. See if that times out. Maybe it's just a UART problem.
Yeah, and without the kill, I can't do anything.
Reboot.
So.
Well, you should be able to offline the R5 and then bring it back in the state.
Right, but their driver currently, without a handshake, it won't let you do that.
Oh. So got to patch that out.
The current remote proc driver, if it does not have a, I mean, it's detecting a timeout, but it won't actually force it to stop. So, man.
I'm going to patch that out.
I got blinking green light, so let me reload. Oh, too quick. There we go. Yeah, well, let's... I don't know, before I start it up again, should I bring up OpenOCD before trying to do a simple command? It's just too tempting. I want to try to do something useful on it.
The question is how to get OpenOCD to connect to it. That's the other fun part. But, yeah.
Oh, so that's not in the configs, it's there?
Oh, yeah, the configs are there to connect it, but yeah, how to connect the running target. I think Ishan wrote the docs on how to have the R5 connected through OpenOCD, so that's written, but...
Well, can't I just look at the program counter? And I mean, I know that symbol loading is going to, like, I'll have to figure out symbol loading and stuff, but if I can just look at the program counter, that would be handy. So where do I find the configs for the R5 in OpenOCD? I don't even know where. I have no idea where to look.
They're under user share OpenOCD. And there should be like a J722S and then all the sub devices, I think.
There's contrib.
I think it's in main.
This has got all the adapters that can be plugged over USB and.
Yeah, so it's a DDAP or an EDAP.
Where would I look? Yeah, Control E doesn't work.
I'm looking in the repository right now because there should be. I think Nishan pushed a how-to README in there. So OpenOCD's Git repo. Here, official Git mirror, because.
Are they mirrored on GitHub?
Yeah, use the GitHub. It's faster than SourceForge.
I can't stand using SourceForge. OpenOCD is empty. We need to make sure. OpenOCD org. Okay. Yeah, we need to really make sure all our mirrors are up to date for people. There's a bunch of XM, BeagleBone.
Yeah, Jason, both Melta and I posted 2 links.
Oh, I don't know.
DB
Nishant's. Oh, so it's not merged yet?
No, a bunch have been merged. So, especially for this part.
Oh, but it's K3. I should be searching for K3, shouldn't I?
It should be under J7. Connect. So the target is TIK3. Add J722S. That was.
Yeah, so not. I was searching for Beagle, so. Set to
Yes.
S. Yep. R5 cores to. So I've got like a main.
Yeah, then it detects it based on JTAG ID. So the target is TI_K3, and it should auto-detect the devices. CDIF.
But I should use. Can I use this main?
So Melta is saying in chat that as far as I know, Beagle isn't there. It is SWD_native. But I don't know why it would be single wire debug.
No, it should be a
It's under
DTAP
this-
or memory.
Yeah,
The
'cause
driver is.
external. Yeah, it should be DMEM or something.
Yeah, DMEM is the interface. TIK3 is the device.
So how do I specify that in
it is a
OpenOCD?
DMEM. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Melta. I saw you. I didn't see the message before. Like you did say there's a DMEM.
Yeah, DMEM is the memory debugger interface.
Oh, message link. Okay, that's why I didn't get it. Okay, command, right?
Yeah, the Nishan's link, that's if you want to do it externally, but we could do it all internally. So,
Is that only?
so Andres,
is this only the external one that he has documented here? So we need another document that talks about how to do it locally, right?
yeah, but he documented it on, I think it's on the forum where Nishan mentioned how to do it internally with the R5.
I just don't know what commands to give at all. The CD R5.
Let's see, OpenOCD.
Why did I respond with the? Oh, that's just examples.
So in the thread I shared, Nishant explains it kind of towards the, let's see, like middle bottom of the page. He has build steps, debug steps.
Am I in the right one? It's the minimal R5
yeah,
example.
Well,
Yeah, the minimal R5 example.
Yeah, it's so it's, I guess it's merged now, so it shouldn't matter. But he has board J720 SWD native config.
That's it.
Yeah, but those patches were merged into our build, so.
21E, but it should be 22S, right?
Right. Yeah, 22S.
Yep.
If it's there.
And I don't need to.
Yeah, and Dominic's posting in chat if you're looking at that. Oh, but it crashed for him. Okay. Well, let's see if it works. I don't know. Maybe we get lucky.
I can't pay. So there's something weird with the VS Code. It protects it from paste.
Yep. It's annoying as hell.
Share. I see. OCD board. No. Oh, scripts board. And it's what's the board? It's
Oh yeah, he documented in
Proof.
U-boot. You're right. Yeah.
interesting. It's not a JTAG one. It's an actual.
I'm looking right now too.
Yeah, Jason. If you look in the U-boot docs, Melta posted the link, so it's towards the bottom of the page. He has debugging with OpenOCD.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's not JTAG based. Board of choice.
He does both integrated and external JTAG.
Yeah, I'm looking for the specific -f command. And
yeah, it just says board of choice.config. That's all he.
Yeah, board of
choice.
yeah. And it's not one of the boards, so that's not okay.
Yeah, those are all taken X.
So I can do the TI J722S.
Yep. Should be able to in theory.
J7. No, I want the SWD. So I want the 22S underscore SWD native, right? There we go. Now, same thing that was posted, right? So better do it with sudo. And now I have GDB listening on port 3340. Oh, a bunch of them.
Okay,
so
yeah, both Melta and Dominic are commenting. Yeah, SW native is the daemon variant.
Oh man. Why? I don't want it to connect to all these. Okay, hopefully, I mean it's not going to touch it unless I open it, right? So GDB. How do I tell GDB which connection I want?
Which processor? I think it's in your OpenOCD config file. You got to tell it. But...
Target, extended remote local host, and port for oh no, just start GDB. Okay, GDB multi-arch. Okay, because it's not the native architecture.
Yeah. So in there's some UDEV rules, and there's also the GDB multi-arch.
Yeah, that sounds like another one we need to include by default because.
Yeah, so in the link that Melta shared from Nishant with the U-boot OpenOCD instructions, he does mention the OpenOCD UDEV rules in there. There's some commands there. Including, rules on existing connected devices to update, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, SW native calls daemon. Yeah. Right there in the config file.
Okay, and Dominic said you want 3339. That's the remote IP port. Target
Yeah,
remote.
I saw that in the list. Right, when it started up.
Yeah.
When it started up, it listed off which ones. And main, right here, main 0R5 0 is 3339.
Yeah, the stream I think is just delayed enough that it's hard to see, but yeah.
Yeah. So I just got to get multi-arch because I don't want to use regular GDB because it's not A53s.
Yep.
And then I do connect. The connect command is extended -remote, local host, and then the core name. I mean the port. Extended remote, local host 3339. Nope. Did I spell extended remote wrong? Extended remote. Target extended remote. Target extended remote. Connection closed. and segfault. Oh, what'd I do? So the OCD OpenOCD server segfaulted. But the good news is that the R5 is still running.
Over, otherwise, he's presenting something.
Yeah. This has been a good hour. I mean, this has been a very productive hour, I think. So I don't know that we need to go much deeper unless there's some real new questions. For AI64, it worked nicely. Target remote.
Yeah, I think this is more just AM67 that's a little newer, so I don't think it's had the same level of DLC yet.
So let me start it again. I don't know why it's segfaulted, but we'll just say that I don't know the difference between remote and extended remote. Closed again, segfaulted.
Yeah, so Dominic's saying it's segfaulting for him too.
Yeah, so I think it's going to take somebody that knows more to try to figure that out. I can S-trace it is going to be obnoxious. Like I'd need a core dump and a symbol table on GDB, and I wouldn't have any idea how to start walking through that.
No, but I'll ask Nishad to look at it. It's probably a simple thing for him. Because he knows what he's looking at.
Yeah, I mean that should work because this is just the processor native. Yep. Definitely, this is would definitely be a cool way to like teach development, right? When we've got a full GDB stack going on top of Zephyr and MicroPython, right? That's tons of opportunity to learn stuff that way.
Yep, and even outside of that, with CCS Thea being a thing, we could get it also as its own, Electron version to run into, well, not Electron, but like the web server version to run on Beagle, and then you can program it that way.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if it's got really good register views. But does it
exactly? Because we're looking at adding pulling the info straight out of TRM, right? So you can hover over register, and then get your function descriptions and all that way. That might be nice.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't mind the native, right? So the native targets, right? I don't think it should care. It should take any of the debug connections, but that's not normally one that the CCS folks would debug.
No.
It'd be nice if they did.
Talking about it.
It'd be even nicer if we could do sudo apt install CCS.
That's also being talked about.
Well, it's a good thing to be talked about. Okay. I'm going to try to get back to the rest of the day.
I'm the one bugging them about it.
Well, I'll call Mr. Stevenson. He's not too far from here, and let him know my opinions on it.
Yeah, I think John's on board for it.
Cool. Well, I'll give an email of endorsement just because I haven't caught up with them in a while.
Nice. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking to, so that's funny.
Yeah. Give up the control of the TTI. Why do you give up control of the TT? You give up. Drew, I'm not understanding the comment. You give up control of the TTY when you run GDB. What does that mean? You give up control of the TTY when you run GDB? You mean you can't have?
You can't have both. I'm guessing open at the same time, like you're.
Well, but it shouldn't always be stop mode, right? I mean, GDB even when you have like this, direct memory connection, it should be able to just monitor the program counter and some other things without halting the processor, I would think.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's more saying like how you get like only one serial program can access a serial TTY at once. I think it's that.
But which one? Which TT? Like, because this shouldn't be using the like. So I've got the one TTY here that's running OpenOCD, and then the other TTY that's running GDB, and then the other TTY that's here running our TO over RP message. So I'm not sure which TTY I'm losing control over. You won't be able to do anything on the TTY while it's running. Okay.
So maybe that is to your point that needs to be halted. I don't know.
And the
TTY of the core you're connecting to.
The one I'm connecting to. So the R5 core, it's going to lose its access to RP message. Just because I started up the GDB. I don't necessarily understand that. And I don't know if that has anything to do with our seg fault on OpenOCD. Just verify that. Yeah. I mean, having that TTY open didn't have anything to do with the seg fault, so I don't know. Not sure what the command, what the comments mean. Right. Let's wrap it up for the week, and thank you, Andrew, very, 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 very much for joining, so that we're not continuing to pound our head. We don't know why import's failing, but at least we've got some code to look at now, and let's figure out what we did to different. So the difference between your code and what we ran, right? Because what you put on your MicroPython branch was not the same as what we ran before, right?
Right. I rebase. I'm evil like that. So as the MicroPython project moves forward, I move forward. Obviously, Zephyr moves forward, and I don't always test after every rebase. So let me go back and make sure imports aren't broken for some dumb reason. I can do that offline, and I'll probably again rebase, and I'll let you guys know when something is working, so you can have a golden checkpoint, so we don't run into this issue again.
Okay, sounds great. All right. Chat next time.
See y'all next week, same time, same hour. Same great time, great whatever.
Bye, all.
All right, see ya.
Thanks, everyone.